I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon, and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now, a lot of people are focusing on Mars transit in Cancer. I uploaded a video yesterday. Do check that out. You can see the thumbnail here. Mars transit in Cancer is very important because this is going to continue for a very long period of time. Karka Rashi is the sign of debilitation of Mars, and Mars is something that is in some sort of restriction, power struggle since January 2023. If you observe that the moment Saturn entered into the zodiac sign of Aquarius, Saturn has a third aspect on Aries and Saturn had 10th aspect on Scorpio. That means both the zodiac sign of Mars was under direct aspect of Shani from its own zodiac sign, right? Saturn is in its own zodiac sign. And then Saturn is now retrograde in Satbhisha Nakshatra, the nakshatra that represents medical breakthroughs, the nakshatra that represents your healing ability, the nakshatra that brings life full circle. And this retrograde Saturn, which has an aspect on Martian zodiac sign, was triggering the Mars, which is war, which is negative energy, which is, lot of problems in society. Also, this is more about inner battle, constantly thinking about what's right and wrong. Then some people are taking shortcut measures to success, while some are thinking about philosophical things, thinking about the Vedas and the Puranas, and the gap is increasing. One of the reasons is because Saturn from Aquarius is challenging the power of Leo. So the world powers are getting challenged here. Also, this Saturn is about karma, and the conscious approach towards good karma is also challenging ethics of your life, is also making you question a lot of things. Now, if you observe the same Mars, which represents power, which represents authority, ruler of Aries and Scorpio, is going into the Karka Rashi. Now, what is so different about this? This is how this Mars is going to challenge the Saturn. Because when Mars goes in Karka Rashi, Cancer zodiac sign, Mars and Saturn are now in Shadashtak Yoga. They are in the 6-8 formation. And remember, when something goes 8th from Mars, that means something which goes into the Mrityu Bhav of Mangal, you try to kill the energy. The Mars has an 8th aspect on that house. So Mars, when it comes to the Cancer zodiac sign, has an 8th aspect on Saturn, which is a kill aspect. And remember, earlier Saturn was aspecting the zodiac sign of Mars. Now Mars is aspecting both the zodiac sign of Saturn and Saturn itself. Mars from Cancer aspects Capricorn, also aspects the Aquarius, aspects Saturn in Aquarius, and aspects Libra, the sign of exaltation of Saturn. Very interesting planetary alignment. Let's discuss on that. But before that, do not forget to subscribe my channel, share the video among family and friends, let the word of Vedic astrology spread. And if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. And if you want to book a Kundali PDF system generated report, 300 plus pages, which gives you an overview about life, 10 years of predictions, also your birth chart and your Mahadashas all laid out in one platform, you can book that. The link is in the description box. Let's start the unique analysis of Mars and Shani war Shadashtak Yoga. Now, when Saturn is aspecting Aries with the third aspect, Aries Lord Mars goes in Cancer, gets debilitated and aspects the Saturn. This is the aspect of revenge. This is the emotional outburst after a lot of restriction. So you need to be very careful, especially if you are Aries, Scorpio, Aquarius, Capricorn and Cancer. I repeat, Aries, Scorpio, Aquarius, Capricorn and Cancer moon sign. Your emotions will go all over the place. If you have moon with Mars, you may become over emotional and you may react like this. If you have moon with Saturn, suddenly, does not matter where it is, suddenly you may feel that some pressure is being built on you. If your moon is with Ketu, then suddenly you will feel that you are not yourself, the entire world is crashing down. And if your moon is with Rahu, this is where you will try to think that you can be the boss. So be very careful with these energies right now. It's not normal. On top of this, don't forget that Jupiter is retrograde in Mrigashira Nakshatra. Mrigashira is the nakshatra of Mars. And therefore, Jupiter, which is in Taurus zodiac sign, sits 4th from Saturn and 11th from Mars. The only planet that can stop this war is Jupiter. Because it is in the Sukha Bhav of Saturn. So Jupiter is right now in good books of Shani. And Jupiter is there to give gain to the Mangal. Remember, Mars is in the zodiac sign of exaltation of Jupiter. So you can understand how carefully Jupiter is placed. So people who have strong Jupiter, people who are Sagittarius ascendant, who are Pisces ascendant or moon sign, have a role to play. So if you have someone in your family whose Jupiter is powerful, listen to that person. Because Saturn and Mars are going in a full-blown battle, which may also result into some, worldwide conflicts, navy or water-bound conflicts throughout the world. Powers are getting challenged, and therefore this may give you a negative result. Now, what can happen? Number one, jealousy might increase. So you might want to break the rule and take the unhealthy route, some on a smaller scale, some on a bigger scale. When you feel threatened, when you feel that there is a comparison, so use of social media has to be regulated cautiously, because you might be directed towards negative emotions. You also have to be careful when you are having an emotional outburst, that what you are speaking in front of people, whom you are speaking to, you should know the maryada, the boundary, the ethics. Because Saturn's boundary is breaking because of emotional Mars. It's a volcano. It's like a problem that was deep-seated can now burst out. In some cases, people who were considered to be introvert, who were silent, may suddenly have the emotional outbreak. A lot of you who have weak moon or Mars in your birth chart, you need to be careful. Be respectful towards everybody around you, especially people who have emotional challenge and emotional outburst at this point of time. The interesting thing is that if you want to understand a planet, their role, their responsibility, you have to see 6th house from the planet. That is called the prarabdha of the planet. So in case of Shani, you know what the prarabdha is? Mars. Now see the magic here. Mars, which is the prarabdha of Shani, has a Maraka aspect on Saturn. Again I will repeat. Mars, which is 6th from Saturn, means Saturn has to do things or fulfill duties as per what Mars say, because that's the prarabdha. So Saturn has to use the Mangal energy to fulfill its task, finds the Mars, the very prarabdha, aspecting itself with the 8th aspect, which means lot of people have to give sacrifices, small or big, and this means every one of you must let go of something from your life, otherwise it can be self-destructive. It can be a health issue, it can be a career in which you are stuck for a very long time and now it is destroying your personal life. It can be a toxic relationship, or it can be an emotion that is holding you back, that you have to decide personally at your level, seeing your own horoscope. What I am discussing here is a blanket energy. It will affect everybody differently, but let's discuss the flow of the energy. Now, Mars is hell-bent to destroy Saturn. But does Mars have power? No. What does it mean? It means the weaker person is giving its 100, 200, 300%, trying to break the shackle. Say it's a 50-50 chance. In half of the case, it can be justified. In the other half, it can't be. Why? Because Jupiter is not direct. And until and unless Jupiter becomes direct, things will not become normal. When you are investing your money, be careful. When you are talking with your juniors, especially people who are your workers, laborers, who are hardworking people of the society, the people at the lower end of the pyramid, you need to respect them. This Mars is not going to respect them. This Mars can create challenge, and this Mars can create war-like situation. Remember, in December, first week, Mars will become retrograde in the Karka Rashi. A retrograde Mars can also create water-related hazards, water-related earthquakes, typhoons and tsunamis. But these are natural phenomena. But what happens here? What happens at an individual level? Same thing will happen within your mind. Planets are affecting the Earth, planets are affecting you also. So within your own self, there will be typhoons, there will be earthquakes. That means you will not understand how to deal with the situation. This needs guidance. You have to have a collective approach. The entire society has to come together to have an harmonious approach. A coexistence has to come into place, but without downgrading the dharma. You need to uphold the dharma. Jupiter, which is the torchbearer of dharma, who represents dharma, is the one that will stop this war. Saturn has the prarabdha of Mangal. Then Saturn says, break the shackles, but within the boundaries of dharma by respecting everybody. Upgrade yourself without being disrespectful. That is where Saturn wants to fulfill the path of dharma. So, most of you who will follow the mantra, the meditation, the spiritual way of life, maybe you are against it, maybe you hate it, but give it a try. Being a good human being is dharma. So do try to be a good human being, try to be a better version of yourself. Let this war happen internally, because this is a cleansing process. Take it like a Diwali cleaning that we do, in every household in India annually. When the cleaning happens, the mess is created, but soon the unnecessary is thrown out, and only what is necessary, what is beautiful is kept, and now the house looks clean. Same thing you need to do with your mind, same thing you need to do with your body. Same thing you will have to do with your finances, with your personal life, at every area of your life. However rough, turbulent it may seem, try to maintain a calm composure and not engage into any verbal spat unless that's the last option. Otherwise, this is going to create fight all over the place. You will be like, your energy will be all over the place, you will feel drained. And remember, Mars thinks it can kill Saturn, but Mars is debilitated, whereas Saturn is in its own zodiac sign with retrograde energy. Cheshta bal of Saturn is high. It is in Shatabhisha nakshatra, the nakshatra of Rahu. Rahu is in the second house of Saturn, from Saturn. Rahu is actually aspecting Mars. So Saturn might win. That may put you into depression. Rahu, on the other hand, is going to fuel the Mars because Rahu has fifth aspect on Mars. That means the illusion is going to empower you. That will be a illusionary empowerment. It will create real life consequences. That means, in a simple short word, if you are going to take an action in your life, be careful, because your action may create unwanted reaction. Also, to add, one area which is going to be affected in this case is infrastructure and real estate, automobile sector, agriculture sector, anything that is happening near a water body, blockage of water lanes and areas of movement of ships. So So the navy, the merchant navy, the shipments, the fossil fuel, the infrastructure is going to get affected. The real estate market may be affected because of this. So be careful. Not that everywhere it is going to be just a chaos, but sometimes a little bit of nudge can affect some negatively, but some may have a buffer so they don't feel affected at all. It is natural, it is the law of nature, but I am trying to address everyone here because if you are aware, you will try to protect yourself as much as possible. And praying to Bhagwan Hanuman by chanting Hanuman Chalisa every single day is a very good remedy. And remember, planets are not your enemies. Even their mutual war is not your enemy. This mutual war is the war of, or you can say the effect of the forces that are, say, at a different angle. What happens is they are twisting and turning. It's like two rubber bands are now crossing each other and they're twisting. So because of this twist, the torque is generated that is felt by us. So it's not a harm of, it's not because planets are against us. It's just that we need to read these energies and be careful because the impact do fall on us. We do get impacted by these energies. Meditation, Kriya Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, or even simple Sahaj Yoga, any kind of yoga that you do, you train your physical self and you will become a positive person. Control your aggression and anger. Let's discuss more on Patreon.